In other news, bro. So a lot of people are complaining about this one shoujo, bro. So many people have been complaining about the shoujo, and a couple females told me about the shoujo. And until recently, I decided to check it out, and it was a huge disappointment. And I'm gonna tell you why. Okay, the manga is called, and it has an anime. The manga is called Ao Haru Ride, right? The main characters seem to be riding together, just developing well together. They have a nice backstory with them being middle schoolers, and then them being under a shrine when it was raining. That's the first time that it wasn't the first time. They had actually seen each other a couple times in the school, but they pretty much had feelings for each other, whatever. But it was really interesting, like the fact that their union sort of fully started there under that shrine. And so the main female character, her name is Futaba. Futaba apparently had feelings for Ko in middle school, and Ko had feelings for her, and he overheard her saying that she dislikes all boys, even though that's a lie because she herself said it was a lie, but she regretted it because then Ko moved away because of a certain situation. I'm going to explain in a moment. He moved away, so she thought she was never going to see him ever again, and he had told her to see him at the festival. So she waited at that festival, that summer festival, the whole night, and he didn't appear. So she cried. So then 2 to 3 years later, she starts high school, and bro comes back, but with a different name because his parents had gotten a divorce. Now that's something she's gonna find out later. Yes, to the viewers, I'm gonna summarize this as fast as possible so we can get to the funny part, and we can also like honestly address this particular manga. So Futaba runs into Ko again. And by the way, viewers, this is being said because Chief doesn't know about this, so we have to explain it to Chief. Because he's obviously just not gonna check this out after what's gonna be said. Um, so Ko comes back to high school, but under a different name because his parents divorced. Now she didn't know that. Um, I'm gonna give you some context. When they was in middle school, she loved to sniff him. Like there was one scene where they was playing cops and robbers, and her friends, pretty much the females, went to play with the guys, and Futaba decided to join because of Ko, because she saw that he was there. So when they was playing, he pretty much protected her, and when they was hiding, she sort of smelled his hair, and it was like, oh, that usual romance. Like she liked the way he smelled. You know how it is, youths, and you have the counterpart like Ko to Futa, but it was really nice. Pretty much Ko stood up and then ran to get the guys to notice him instead of her. And then he got caught, and then she tried to run towards the circle to get him out because you know how cops and robbers is. But pretty much she got caught, and they had like a really nice build up in terms of romance and just the connection between Futaba and Ko. Like the thing is, like Ko seemed like he didn't only seem, he genuinely did, and he genuinely does have sentiments. That's his character. He cares for Futaba. Ko really adores Futaba. But the thing is, he went through trauma. So we're gonna talk about that trauma right now. He went into high school, and she didn't know, what happened with him. Like his last name changed. He wasn't Tanaka anymore. He took the last name of his mother or whatever. Long story short, they ended up in the same class. They ended up bonding because they became class representatives. She remembered him obviously, and they obviously started healing each other, over what happened in that middle school situation. And then there was this other girl within the group that they're in for the class representatives. She developed feelings for Ko because Ko had helped her during some like they did some school trip thing in the forest. You know how they always do the school trips in the forest and stuff. So they ended up getting lost towards the conclusion of that forest trip because there was like one last thing they had to go find. So long story short, Futaba got her leg hurt, and he carried her the rest of the way, and they made it to a road, and they found their way back. So it was really great. But in the process, Ko had also helped a different girl that was Futaba's friend, and so she developed feelings for Ko. So Ko wound up later rejecting the girl. But before rejecting the girl, he obviously was being nice to her because, I mean, he's not a complete douchebag. Like, he literally helped Futaba when he first saw her again in high school. He told her there was a situation where Futaba, she's been eating a lot of food during lunch to make the guys not like her. Because during middle school, the rest of her time in middle school, a lot of the girls started talking trash against her because they were jealous. Because a lot of the guys were saying, "Oh, like Futaba's really attractive and she's feminine and all this other stuff." So, in order for her to in high school someone get friends, she wound up trying to be like that. Pretty much, she was trying to seem like she's a glutton, that she eat a bunch during lunch, all this other stuff. So, pretty much, she had paid for some lunch, and when she paid for the lunch, the first lunch lady was like, "Okay, cool. We don't have bags right now. You can go like that." Like, I think Futaba said that she doesn't need the bags. And then this other lunch lady came in like, "Oh, you didn't pay for that because we usually put them in bags." So the lunch lady was about to make a scene. Like the bitch didn't even see that the first lunch lady had already, told Futaba she could go. But that second lunch lady was trying to give Futaba a hard time, and then her friend showed up like, "Oh, Futaba, don't tell me you're gonna steal." And then the kids started whispering around, and then Ko came in and was like, "Oh, lady, you can ask that lunch lady right there. She like Futaba paid her, like she paid her. Ask her." And then he called her Obaja or old lady. He said old hag or whatever he said. He told her to pretty much ask the other lunch lady. And so when the lunch lady asked, guess what? The other lunch lady was like, "Yeah, yeah, she paid." So then that old hag was looking stupid completely. And then her friends were looking stupid because then Cole later told Futaba, like, "You've been settling for false friends. You should reevaluate who you make your friends because you shouldn't want to just fit in with just anybody, especially if they're not going to look out for you, etc." And Futaba ended up realizing that, yeah, she couldn't be associating with those sort of girls. So going back to the second semester of that year, pretty much she got like they got all transferred to the same class, and yeah, that led up to them becoming class representatives and all this other stuff. So they've had a good build up supposedly, in terms of development. And there's so much more. Like if you see it, bro, it's just like, damn, this is consistent. This is good. Like this is some powerful stuff right here. This is two really amazing characters. How could anything go wrong? How could it? If Ko is so intelligent, you get what I mean? He is. I'm gonna tell you the situation, bro. Cause I don't know. I don't know how you go from being so consistent. Even though you got your own issues, you're dealing with some trauma in regards to your mother. She died, and you blame yourself that she died while your brother was away or whatever. There was another situation where that other girl that likes Ko went to his house with Futaba and the other ones to pretty much do like a study session. And then Futaba thought that Ko was hiding something from her and that the girl was hiding something from her. That girl is her supposed friend. But then she later finds out after the friend left, Futaba went back to Ko's house and interrogated him pretty much on it. And then he pretty much told her about his mother's passing and then showed her the shrine that he has built inside the house. So she saw, the little thing that shows the mother and all this other stuff. And it was really, so she was crying, for him, obviously. They had a moment right there. They could have almost gotten together, but then his brother came in. His brother's a teacher in the school. Essentially, all this build-up dies by chapter 20 to 22. And I'm going to tell you how. Bro, they introduced these characters that just started ruining just the connection that Ko and Wataba had. Bro, they had this one chick coming in talking about, oh, when Ko was in middle school, he kept this one girl company. Her father died, and Ko was trying to, he